A figure-4 trap, but incomplete. No stone, no tension, no bait. It stands upright, an empty frame of what it was meant to be, a mechanism with no force to collapse it, no prey to trigger its fall. What happens when a trap remains just a structure? What does it mean when something built to catch, built to harm, built to ensnare, is simply left standing? An unexamined life is not worth living. Without its purpose as a snare, this structure is just a collection of sticks, wood leaned against itself in a deliberate but meaningless way. Yet how many things in our lives once held meaning, but now stand empty? Rules we follow, but no longer know why. Fears we carry that no longer have a threat. Beliefs we inherited, but have never questioned. Socrates taught that wisdom begins when we examine the structures around us. Are they functional, or are they simply remnants of a purpose long gone? What structures in your life once had purpose, but are now just empty frames? Are there traps you avoid that no longer pose any real danger? Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? If a trap is never loaded, is it still a trap? The figure-4 here is neutral. It neither catches nor collapses. It just is. Taoism teaches that the wisest path is often to let things be, rather than forcing action where none is needed. Some traps only exist because we give them our attention. Some problems vanish when we do nothing. Perhaps the best course of action is not to dismantle the trap, but simply to walk away from it, leaving it untriggered. What conflicts in your life exist only because you engage with them? What happens if you simply leave the trap standing and move on? He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. Many systems of control operate like this empty figure-4. They stand only because people believe in their authority. Governments, ideologies, social norms, they press upon us only as long as we allow them to. But what if we saw them for what they are? What if we realized that many of them are nothing more than assembled sticks, standing upright, waiting for someone to push them over? Nietzsche argued that most structures of power do not collapse because of resistance. They collapse when people see them clearly and simply stop obeying them. What systems in your life have power only because you accept them? What would happen if you stopped assuming they had control over you? A trap with no weight is just a structure. A rule without meaning is just an empty tradition. A force without belief behind it is just a forgotten idea. Perhaps this is not a snare at all. Perhaps it is a reminder that most of what holds us back only exists if we let it.